I'm working on a study of this particular piece, and I'm I just started this yesterday. I roughly sketched it out. I'm not happy with it. There's a lot of things that I find are awkward, and I did do the right thing, and I went ahead and did a value study, but I'm not following my value studies. So today I'm going to try and correct that. I see a lot of lighter areas that I'm not pleased with. I need to darken this. Even by the value study, I'm showing there's darker areas that I'm putting in here. So I'm going to go a little wild with the paint today. Not sure I like the composition. I'm not happy with that bridge thing there. I was trying to emulate what's over here, and one of the things I don't like about it is that I sketched it out so precisely. So today I'm going to work on trying to get these values right, so we'll see how it goes. I started adding more darks under this rock over here. Kind of left this alone for now and trying to keep the lights of the paper. As I looked at my study, my value study, I see I have a very dark under the rock there and kind of a medium, a little bit dark by this rock here, some darks on the side. Let me pan over so you can see it. I'm also not using the most expensive paper, and I find when I don't use very good paper, the color is just much more difficult to work with. But I tend to be a little bit more frugal, and I use the less expensive paper for my studies. So I guess I reward myself when I finally go into that final piece and see how easy the color works on, say, an Arches or a Fabriano or a Canson paper. And here's what I mean by adding more values. A value does not necessarily mean that it is just a dark blob of paint. It's more color, more intensity. As you can see, and I'm sorry I keep saying because I'm just doing this on the fly. I have darkened the areas under the rocks and above the rocks so that the rocks stand out more, and that's by adding one wash after another. I'm using a dry brush more than a wet brush, and for a lot of the stuff I'm using the side of my brush, which is something I picked up when I was studying oil. And with a good watercolor brush, I'm not saying you have to spend a fortune, but you are able to manipulate it more. Just don't think of painting with your brush as just the tip of the brush. So I'm starting to build on the values a little bit more, and let me see if I can get up here. You can see how dark this is. Again, a trick of photography. Picks up all the darks, picks up all the lights, and it's up to you to have to figure out where your medium values or your medium passages are. But I'm really liking the intense ultramarine blue here and there. It carries your eye through there. I took the tree and I put more greens on there and shadowed it down a little bit more. Now the only thing left is that fence, and I was going to do it red, and I'm still debating about that. Well, did I save this painting? I made it better. It's not exactly what I wanted, but I got close to getting a study that I liked. I darkened this area and I pulled some shadows through the branches of that large tree. I worked on the shadows and the dimension of the fence. I decided not to make it red. That just would stand out way too much on something this small of a composition. So I kind of worked with some light washes of burnt sienna, and then I added shadow here and there. Let's see, where is our focal point? I have a debate with my business partner here at home. He says the focal point is right here. I say the focal point is right here. So that's something I need to work on and develop. The reason I like doing these studies is you sometimes get a decent product that's worth keeping or showing, but more than anything else, it teaches you how to work with your source material, with your pencil sketch and value study, which I kind of followed. I realized when I started looking at it, I could focus more on what I needed to paint. And it tells you where the pitfalls are for when you start your original painting, what areas you want to skip completely and what areas will work well, like adding color here, adding more bold brush strokes of color. So again, this is our reference. And I left that palm tree on the side, on the left-hand side. I don't like it. And this is the final finished study. So I wanted to thank you for watching, and above all, keep practicing.